What's your that escalated quickly moment? My 12-year-old son Marcus has always been the quiet kid. Never caused trouble, did his homework, kept to himself. So when his middle school called saying he was in the principal's office, I figured maybe he forgot to turn in an assignment or got caught talking in class. I walked into Lincoln Middle School expecting a 5-minute conversation about responsibility. Instead, I found Marcus sitting across from Principal Williams with his arms crossed, looking more defiant than I'd ever seen him in his entire life. Your son started a fight during lunch, she said, sliding an incident report across her desk. 3 other boys were involved. We have a zero-tolerance policy for violence in this school district. My heart sank. Marcus had never thrown a punch in his life. He was the kid who cried when we had to kill spiders in the house. He apologized to furniture when he bumped into it. This made absolutely no sense. What happened? I asked Marcus directly. He just stared at his beat-up sneakers and mumbled, they deserved it. Principal Williams pulled out her phone and showed me security footage from the cafeteria. There was Marcus, normally the kid who sat alone reading comic books during lunch, standing on top of a lunch table yelling at 3 8th graders who were twice his size. Then he jumped down and tackled the biggest one like he was in the WWE. A full cafeteria brawl broke out with kids screaming and food flying everywhere. Teachers had to pull students apart from all directions. It took 4 adults to restore order. This is completely out of character for him, I told the principal. Marcus, you need to explain what happened right now. The truth. He finally looked up and I could see tears forming in his eyes. They were making fun of Tommy's lunch again, calling it gross foreign food and holding their noses. Tommy's mom packed him the same rice and curry she always does. Who's Tommy? I asked, still trying to piece this together. The new kid from India? He sits by himself at lunch because nobody talks to him. Those 3 guys dump his lunch in the trash every single day and make him eat the free school lunch instead. But he's vegetarian and the school lunch always has meat, so he's been going hungry. My stomach dropped. How long has this been going on, Marcus? 2 months, since he started here. I kept telling teachers, but they said boys will be boys or that Tommy needed thicker skin. Today they took his lunch and threw it at the wall just to watch him cry. Tommy started having a panic attack, so I got really mad and did something stupid. Principal Williams shifted uncomfortably in her chair. We weren't aware of any ongoing bullying situation involving this student. I reported it 4 different times, Marcus said, his voice getting louder and more frustrated. Mrs. Henderson said Tommy needed to learn to fit in better. Mr. Parker said he should bring normal American food if he didn't want negative attention from other students. I felt my own anger building like a fire in my chest. So you ignored my son's multiple reports of systematic bullying, and now you're punishing him for defending another kid who is being tormented? Fighting is never the appropriate answer to conflict, she replied stiffly. All 4 boys are receiving 3 days out of school suspension per district policy. Where's Tommy right now? I asked. In the nurse's office. He had a severe panic attack during the incident and his parents are coming to pick him up. I stood up from my chair. I want to see every single bullying report my son filed. All of them. And I want to know why a 12-year-old kid had to take matters into his own hands because the adults in charge wouldn't do their jobs to protect students. The next 2 hours were a blur of phone calls, paperwork, and very uncomfortable conversations with school administrators who suddenly realized they had a major problem on their hands. Turns out Marcus had been documenting everything like a detective. Times, dates, witnesses, specific quotes from teachers who dismissed his concerns. The kid had been building a legal case for months while trying to get help through proper channels. By the end of that very long day, the 3 bullies got 2-week suspension instead of 3 days. The teachers who ignored multiple reports got formal written reprimands in their files. Tommy's parents were called in for a meeting about additional support and protection measures. And Marcus? His suspension got reduced to 1 day, which he spent helping out in Tommy's family restaurant, learning to make authentic curry and naan bread. That night at dinner, Marcus finally spoke up. Dad, was I wrong to fight them when talking didn't work? I looked at my quiet, thoughtful son, who'd spent 2 months trying to solve a serious problem the right way before finally taking physical action. You were wrong to fight, I said carefully, but you were absolutely right to stand up for someone who couldn't stand up for himself. Sometimes being wrong and being right happen at the exact same time. 3 weeks later, Tommy invited Marcus to his 13th birthday party. When I dropped Marcus off, Tommy's dad grabbed my hand and said with tears in his eyes, your boy has the heart of a warrior and the wisdom of a judge. Marcus just shrugged like it was nothing and said, Tommy makes the best curry in town, way better than whatever they serve for school lunch.